The streets of Redmond flickered with failing neon and fractured sound. The Chrome Haven bar crouched between ruined high-rises, its sign buzzing like a dying insect. Outside, gangs prowled the alleys in packs, neon glinting on cheap chrome implants. Inside, the air was heavy with sour synth ales, sweat, and the sharp tang of exposed wiring. At a back table, Takuan sat with a half-finished drink. He was young, his braids tied with feathers that didn't belong in this city of rust and neon. His hand shook, and the glass slipped, spilling across the table. His pupils widened, head tilting as though listening to something no one else could hear. "Hey, kid, you all right?" Celine leaned over from the next seat, brushing blonde hair from her face. Her AR goggles glowed faintly, idling. She always covered concern with sarcasm, a habit as sharp as her deck. Takuan didn't answer. His shoulders twitched, breath shallow. Nyx rose instantly. Every move she made was precise, like her body carried instructions burned into bone. She placed firm hands on Takuan's shoulders, steadying him. "This isn't fainting," she said, calm but firm. "He's being called." Morgan swirled his drink with a snort. The older mage adjusted the rings on his fingers, irritation in his voice. "Called? He's having an episode. Astral residue, hormones, maybe cheap liquor. I could confirm it with a proper scan." Nyx gave him a look sharp enough to cut. "I know what this is." And then Takuan's head jerked back. A sound vibrated inside him. No words at first, just a low growl that rolled into something heavier, something that became speech inside his chest. "Follow me. Beyond concrete, where the old spirits linger. In the ruins, I wait." Takuan gasped, gripping the edge of the table. He called me. The wolf." Celine barked a laugh, lifting her glass. "Sure. Next you'll say your spirit sends text alerts." But Nyx's voice was steady. "Totems don't waste words. If it spoke, we go." Morgan opened his mouth to object, then shut it again, curiosity winning over pride. Together they stepped into the wet night. The streets were a gauntlet. Signs flickered, promises of pleasures that would never arrive. Trash fires burned in rusted drums, eyes watching them from every corner. Acid rain hissed on metal. Celine vanished into the matrix, her body twitching while her deck hummed. Cameras blinked offline, blind spots opening for seconds at a time so they could slip through corp zones. Morgan whispered wards, faint circles of light breaking hidden tripwires. Nyx needed neither circuits nor chance. Under a bridge, a gang blocked their way, half chrome, half meat, all attitude. One lunged with a knife. Nyx's fist cracked ribs before the blade even rose. Another aimed a pistol, but she spun past him, snapping his arm and sending the gun skittering. 3 more dropped in a blur of kicks and sweeps, groaning on the wet ground. Takuan stared wide-eyed. "How do you fight like that without summoning anything?" Nyx wiped her knuckles clean. "Because my body is the spell. You listen to it, and it never lies." Her words stayed with him as they moved deeper. The streets emptied, but shadows thickened. The rain carried whispers. Spirits crept in, crows with smoke for wings, rats glowing ember red. They circled Takuan, watching, pressing. Morgan rolled his eyes. "Ridiculous. I could banish them all with—" "No," Nyx cut him off. "This is his trial." Celine groaned. "Perfect. Ghost babysitting. Just what I wanted while drones scanned for us." Takuan's hands trembled, but he shut his eyes and whispered words his grandmother once told him. The spirits paused, tilted their heads and bowed. Then they dissolved back into rain. His chest heaved. "He guided me. The wolf is near." Hours later, they reached the edge of the free zone. Crumbling concrete hid the bones of an older structure. Symbols carved by older hands still clung to the stone, half erased but defiant. Nyx pressed her palm to one. Here the barrier thins. The air grew dense. Takuan fell to his knees as the vision struck. From broken ground rose a wolf of light and fire, its fur glowing gold and blue, its eyes burning like suns. Celine's smirk vanished. Even she couldn't deny what she saw. Morgan, though, reached for a crystalline focus. A manifestation like this, if I could harness. "Morgan?" Celine snapped, but the wolf's growl drowned her out. The ground split, and a pulse of energy hurled him across the ruins. He hit stone hard, coughing blood. The wolf's voice filled every breath. "The choice is not his. It is yours, Takuan." the beast leaned down, hot wind from its breath pressing him flat. Will you chase power, wealth, glory, or will you guard those crushed beneath steel and neon? Images slammed into Takuan's mind. The starving, the forgotten, the city's endless cruelty. He trembled, crushed by the weight. Celine whispered, almost reverent, I've seen illusions dressed up as gods. This isn't code. Nyx knelt beside him. Her voice was calm, grounding. Don't think, listen, you already know. Takuan thought of scraps scavenged as a child, of his grandmother's prayers, of the faces he had ignored. He thought of Nyx's strength, Celine's sharpness, even Morgan's flaws. I choose to protect, always. The wolf howled. The sound tore through the astral and the flesh alike. Even the city's drones faltered mid-flight. Light coursed through Takuan's body, not burning, but steady, like a heartbeat syncing with the world. His eyes opened, glowing faintly, breath strong. Morgan stirred, groaning, but Nyx's hand held him down. Shame silenced him more than her grip. Celine smirked at Takuan, her voice softer than before. Well, at least you're not just a spaced-out hippie. The wolf dissolved, scattering into glowing shards that sank into the stone. Nyx's smile was rare, but it shone now. Welcome, brother. You carry a pack now, not just a name. Takuan rose unsteadily, but the ground felt solid under him for the first time. And so, beneath neon and ruin, a shaman was born. Not just a boy chasing visions, but a guardian chosen by the wolf, ready to stand in the collision of steel and magic, where shadows never sleep.